Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the unprecedented Winter World Cup here in our year 2022. Here with Christian, Isaiah from All We Do Is Talk. How y'all doing today? How you doing, Christian?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Are you ready? This is crazy. For the we are here to say we witnessed the first ever Winter World Cup, probably given to the people that are hosting in Qatar via very illegal methods, but hey, money talks. Money talks. So go. Let's get going, Christian. We're gonna go straight into our predictions for this World Cup, starting with Group A, led by Qatar, the hosting country, who are playing tomorrow in the first game. The Senegal, Ecuador, and the Netherlands. I'll go first here since it's A. I think it's easy. I'm gonna pick the Netherlands to be the winner of this group. I like Senegal, even with the Sadio Mane injury, to fight their way through and be the second place team. Give me Ecuador to be third, and Qatar, unless they bribe their way into winning some games, they finish fourth. That's my Group A. Netherlands winning, Senegal in second, Ecuador and Qatar.
Okay, I'm glad we can agree on Group A. It's kind of obvious Netherlands, a team full of young talent, would be number one in that group. And Senegal, I agree with you being number two. Edward Mendy, their goalkeeper, one of the best in the world.
For Chelsea, yep,
Yeah,
for
I think he'll
Chelsea.
be a game changer. But obviously, the other two teams, Ecuador really isn't that great of a team. Lucky to be in it, and obviously Qatar with luck of location. Let's just say that's the only reason they are in there. So I don't see Ecuador, Qatar moving past this group, but Netherlands and Senegal for sure.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, moving on to our group, Group B, which contains our home country here in the USA. We've got England, USA, Wales, who is like a neighbor to England, and Iran. So you want to go ahead, Christian, go with this one first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead first. Obviously, best team. You look at their roster. England. Here, I have them first. They have an older, experienced team with Harry Kane obviously leading them. They have Raheem Sterling, of course. Just the biggest challenge I think they'll face is Reece James, one of their biggest injuries from obviously most recently. But other than that, he's their right back, obviously from Chelsea. So I think that'll just be their biggest injury. But other than that, I think they just have the experience to be number one in that whole group. Number two, I have our home country, the USA. Obviously, Christian Pulisic. I think he'll be a big game changer for the US. And just overall, I think they have a strong midfield. I was reading into Tyler Adams, who's still a young talent. So
He's gonna be the captain. Yep.
yeah, so we'll see how the U.S. is. Luckily, the other two teams are Wales and Iran. Another two teams that are just lucky to be in the World Cup. Just slide by. So I think it'll be a battle for the 3 and 4 spot in between them, just because I don't think their roster is as lethal as the U.S. and England is. But I have Wales as number three and Iran as number four.
Uh, Another agreement here. Clearly, England is the most talented of the teams. Like the U.S., really good attacking, really good midfield. Like you said, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling. They got Kieran Trippier, who plays for Newcastle at right back, who's really good at free kicks and stuff like that. So he's a specialist. So England, unless they blow it, which they can, but I think they're good enough to get through. USA, like you said, with Tyler Adams, who plays at Leeds United, along with his Leeds United teammate Brandon Aronson, are two guys that play in a system in a club that matches the system in USA. So that's really good right there. And along with Christian Pulisic, who is the most experienced European playing American player that we have. And shaky at the back, but I think they have enough on offense to get against in this group because Wales is really just Gareth Bale and Gordon Ramsay are bust. But hey, Gareth Bale's known to turn up big. He came to MLS this year and won the championship and had a big game in the final. So he's a guy that can win you some games. I think the USA versus Wales match will determine what really happens in this group. And Iran is just happy to be here. So another agreement. We can move on. Group C contains Poland, Messi's last dance, Argentina team, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia. I think this one's gonna be. I think we might have some difference here. I'm gonna go chalk it top. Messi is definitely getting out of this group. Argentina to win, really loaded. They got some other players, Martinez, Lorenzo Martinez, who plays for Inter Milan, and then they got the other kid up front who plays for Man City, Alvarez. He's really good too. Uh, Di Maria, another guy who's probably getting his last chance to win a World Cup. So yeah, they got some experience, some youth, a little shaky at back, but they'll be fine. Messi will get them through. I'm actually gonna go with Robert Lewandowski's Poland, the Poland machine. I'm gonna go with Poland to go come in second off the back of Robert Lewandowski, and that alone, which unfortunately, I think Mexico had a couple unfortunate injuries right before the tournament, which always hurts. So I think they fall victim to that and they go third. And Saudi Arabia, like Iran, like Qatar, they're just happy that the world acknowledges that they exist.
Okay. Yeah, we might have some differences there. But for my choices, I agree with you for number one, Argentina. Obviously, this probably is Messi's last year World Cup, so it's the last shot, you know. Obviously playing 110% to everything. And I do like their midfielder, Rodrigo De Paul, he does play for Atletico Madrid. And I just think he brings more power, obviously being a young talent. But, you know, like I said, they have a lot of experience on that team. You look at the roster, it looks stacked among that whole group. For my number two, this is where I agree with you. I could see why you chose Lewandowski in Poland, but I have Mexico. And just really the reason why that is because I just believe they have strong wings and just a strong offense. Herving Lozano, obviously one of their best ones from Napoli. I just think he's just a strong piece on their offense. And then Alex Vega, he's just one of their best wings. But you know, for third, I have Poland, similar to what you were saying, Lewandowski, and just a strong unit. And for fourth, the jabroni of the group, Saudi Arabia. You know, each group has the one jabroni team that's just thankful to be there. So
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, just being known, just some acknowledgement. All right, moving on to Group D, who who contain the last World Cup winner, France, who've got a lot of injuries going on right now. They've got Denmark, they've got Australia, and then they have Tunisia. So, sorry, we're American. Go ahead, Christian. Go ahead and get this one going.
well, I think we can all agree number one for this group, France. Obviously, their experience. The only thing I'm not really sure about, they haven't announced, but Pogba about his injury. I'm not
He's
sure.
not. He's not
Oh,
playing.
so he's not playing.
No Pogba, no Conte, no Kareem Benzema, no Kimpembe at the back. Just massive
Oh,
injury.
yeah, I didn't know Benzema was injured as
He
well.
just got ruled out today. Yep,
Oh,
literally
wow.
today.
Well, obviously, you know, that's not in their favor, but still, you look at their roster, Mbappe, Griezmann. I don't think Griezmann is
No,
injured.
Griezmann's playing. He's playing.
Okay, well, you know, at that point, you got to play with the cards you're dealt, not the cards you wish you had. So we'll see how they are. Obviously, they still have a stacked team. They still have great chemistry within each other, a lot of young talent. So I still have them as my number one. For my number two, I have Denmark in this group just because just really reviewing their roster, I just see a lot of young talent, their amazing chemistry, and they actually did beat France earlier this season. So, you know, we've seen just images of their potential and how great they can be together. So I'm excited to see that. For a third team, I think it'll just be a battle for these last two teams in between Tunisia and Australia, just because overall, like I said, two teams just happy to be there. Usually, in past World Cups or past cups in general, they haven't been far. So we'll see where they can get. But the two best teams in this group is obviously France and Denmark.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you totally. I'll just talk more about France because I think the only team that matters in this group is France. Denmark does have Christian Eriksen making his return after the cardiac arrest at the last European Championship event. But yeah, Mbappe, Griezmann, two young kids in the midfield that play for Real Madrid, Camavinga and Tukamini are going to are going to step into their own. They're going to be breakout superstars coming out of this World Cup. Kunde in the back. France is still loaded. They might not win it all this year because of some bad injuries to Conte, Pogba, Benzema, but yeah, they'll be fine in this group. Denmark because they have more talent, and then yeah, Australia, then Tunisia, and we can move on to Group E.
Just a little side note. Denmark actually beat France twice this year, so it'll be a great matchup. I'm excited to see this group. I
They
think
got two more. They got two more chances to beat them again. They could beat them 4 times. I mean, one more chance to beat them this year. They could beat them 3 times in 1 year.
yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be one of the best matchups. So,
All right, next we got Group E, which contains a couple heavyweights that we've seen win it in the last few decades. Germany and Spain, Japan, Costa Rica. I'll go here first. Give me the nice young Spain team to take this group. I like the midfield of Javi. Javi, Pedri are going to be good. Two Barcelona kids. They also have Torres, a Barcelona kid. Who else do they have up there? They got a couple. They got Valverde, but I think I'm like no. Valverde is on Uruguay, but I can't think. But they've got some other good young guys in that winger position. So I think their offense is not amazing, but their defense is good. For the first time ever, no Sergio Ramos, no PK, neither.
yeah,
New generation. But yeah, I think they got enough youth in the midfield to control most of these games. Give me Germany. Injury to Timo Werner is really bad for them, but still a very talented team. They have a bunch of players from Bayern Munich, and there's a reason Bayern Munich always win the league. 3, give me Japan. They've got some players Japan's got some decent players on them, and then give me Costa Rica to be happy to be here. Jabroni of Group E, Costa Rica.
Okay. We might differ on this group for sure, but for my number one, I have Germany, obviously being a young team as well, having really experienced, especially with the last World Cup. But I especially like their goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer.
North. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think overall their defense is just immaculate. So I think they'll lead number one in this group. For number two, similar to what you were saying, Spain, just having a young team, young core, kicking out Sergio Ramos, which is surprising. Obviously, it shows that they're focusing on that young core. So I'm super excited to see, especially the strong midfield they have. I can't, what's it, Pedri?
Pedri, yeah, Pedri and Javi.
Yeah, what you were saying. So Barcelona kids. So we'll definitely see the young talent there. Number three is two bad teams in between Costa Rica and Japan. So I'm not really sure about Costa Rica's team, but I do know Japan is really the Jabroni
Japan
team.
got some players.
Do they? I really don't know much about Costa Rica and Japan.
They got more players than I know. I don't know nothing about Costa Rica's team, but I know Japan got some players I've seen play. So I'm sure those players will put in enough work to help them be better than Costa Rica. Hopefully.
But,
All right. Next, we have Group F, who have the silver place team from the last World Cup, Croatia, along with Belgium, Canada, our neighbors from the north, and Morocco. How you feel about this group, Christian?
I feel like it's really diverse. There's a couple good teams here. And for my number one, I have Belgium. I just think they have a strong midfield with Kevin De Bruyne from Man City.
De Bruyne from Man City.
Yeah, I think he's, obviously going to be a great part. And with the help of Lukaku, one of their best strikers, I think their offense would just be really lethal. And just really a young team in general. But other than that, for the next three, it was actually really hard for me, obviously with Croatia having all the experience. But I think Canada might be a sleeper in this group just because I do think they have amazing talent. But one of their wings that really caught my attention was Alfonso Davies.
That is from Bayern Munich.
I think he's one of the best out there. So we'll definitely see what Canada brings. This obviously being their first World Cup. Is it ever? I believe,
I
or
think it's I think it's ever. I think it's ever. I
I
think it's
know.
ever.
eh, So we'll definitely see what they bring to the table. But that would be one of my sleepers in this whole league, just because I do think they have enough talent. But after that, obviously, I have Croatia as my number three, just with the experience, and I just think Morocco would be last in this group. I really don't know much about Morocco either, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see what they bring.
So that's the only place we agree here. I have Morocco as my jabroni of this group, but I'm actually going to go upwards. I'm going to go and leave Belgium out. I think that Kevin De Bruyne are a bust. Lukaku has been hurt all season, so he's working back from injury at World Cup time. And I think the rest of the team is young and improving, and they do have a good goalkeeper, Courtois from Real Madrid. He's a good, but I think Belgium's going to be the most disappointing team of the tournament. So that means I've got Canada at 2. I think Alfonso Davies will do a good job carrying them, and Croatia, they have enough experience to win the group. Luka Modric in his final days is still look amazing. Ivan Perisic, they got guys who've been there, done that. They could let down because they are really old, but they got guys that fight. So that's how I feel about that. And
That's
next, we're moving on to Group G, which have the favorites Brazil, along with Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon. So I'll knock this one out. Brazil's my favorite to win in general, so they're winning this group. Brazil's my favorite to win. We don't got Neymar, Richarlison, Jesus, Rafinha, Marquinhos, Ederson. Ederson and yep. And what's I can't think of the Liverpool goalkeeper, but yeah, they have him too. Give me Switzerland 2, give me Serbia 3, Cameroon 4. With this being the most competitive 2 through 4, this is going to be tight. It's really going to come down to who steals points off of Brazil that win this group, because I think Brazil will run away with it, but I think 2, 3 through 4 will be a fight.
Yeah. I'm glad we can agree on this group. I do agree. I have the same viewpoints on Brazil, such as you. Obviously, a stacked team. The favorite to win is what it seems like, but I think they'll clearly be number one in this group. For number two, I do have Switzerland as my number two, who I think would be a big game changer. Is really their midfield. Granit Xhaka from Arsenal.
Jaka.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jaka.
I just think really they have a young midfield which will really be lethal to them. But other than that, I think Serbia might give them the toughest problem for that number two, um, just because of their young team as well. But I'm not really sure about Cameroon, so I just
Yeah,
put this on number four.
I've heard a lot of people hype up this Cameroon team, but I just don't know enough about most of their players. Now I think they have a couple Arsenal. I think they have an Arsenal player or two. But yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think it'll be close. But like you said, we both agree Brazil clears, and then 2 through 4, it's a dog bath. It's a dog fight.
I guess.
All right, and lastly, Group H, containing, we said Messi's last World Cup. We've got Ronaldo's last World Cup. Group H, Portugal, Uruguay, who have Cavani and Suarez, who are probably in their last World Cup. Ghana and Korea. So go ahead, Christian, knock it out.
Well, I have similar to what you were saying, just the Uruguay roster with Suarez and Cavani alone. I think they'll have an amazing offense. But I have Uruguay as my number one. For my number two, Portugal, obviously being Ronaldo's probably his last World Cup as well. It's a all-out team. This is what they came here for. I also like their young forward, Joao Felix. from Atletico Madrid.
Joao Felix. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
think just the chemistry he'll have with Ronaldo, especially since they won't focus on Ronaldo as much. I think he'll be a great piece. But other than that, I have last two teams, South Korea and Ghana. I really am not sure much about them, but I have heard great things actually about Ghana. So, I have them as my number three, and South Korea is my number four. Just happy to be in the World Cup.
Okay. Just happy to be in the World Cup. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna round it up. Both of us are gonna run through the rest of our bracket rapid fire and pull it forward. So for me, while because I was filling mines out while Christian was talking, I'm going to take in the upset USA over the Netherlands in the round of 16. Give me Argentina over Denmark. Give me Canada over Spain in an upset. Give me Brazil over Korea. Sorry, Human Son. I'm sure you're gonna have a group stage to fight for your life, but he falls to Brazil. Give me England over Senegal. Give me France over Poland. Give me Germany over Croatia. Give me Portugal over Switzerland. That gives me the next of USA. Give me Argentina ending the run for USA. We'll see y'all in 2026 here in America. Give me Brazil ending the run for Canada. We'll see you in 2026 in Canada. Give me England over France in a battle as old as time. I think France is. We haven't seen a repeat World Cup winner in 60 and 50 plus years. That's all I gotta say about that. Give me Portugal over Germany in a upset, but is it really? Both teams are loaded. That gives me a semis of Argentina versus Brazil and England versus Portugal. I think Brazil's gonna win, but I like the good stories. Give me Argentina over Brazil, and then give me Portugal over England, setting up the World Cup match for the goats of goats. Give me I'm psych. I'm sorry. Nah,
Are you changing up?
give me Messi versus Ronaldo
Messi
because come on,
versus
come on, that's what we all want to see.
we all
That's
want to
what we
see
all want to
that.
see. Give me Portugal over Argentina.
Yeah,
Ronaldo was in the news for literally tearing down his relationship with his club, and he said he'll retire if he wins the World Cup. He's calling his shot. Give me Ronaldo to win the GOAT of GOAT
dang.
battle and the World Cup in 2022. Give me Brazil to settle for third place. Sorry, Neymar. Even though I believe I'll be betting on Brazil because I think they do have a good chance. Go ahead, Christian. Your turn.
Okay, it's crazy because mine is actually kind of similar to yours, but for my first one, I have Netherlands versus USA, and I have USA winning that. USA upset. Argentina versus Denmark, in which I have Argentina winning. Germany versus Canada, in which I have Germany upsetting Canada, obviously. But my next match is Brazil versus Portugal, in which I have Brazil beating that, which would be an amazing matchup. But sorry, Ronaldo, first round knockout. My next one is England versus Senegal, where I'd have England being the winner of that. Next matchup, France versus Mexico. Unfortunately, Mexico always get knocked out round one, so that's nothing new. But France beating that. Belgium versus Spain for my next one, which I'll have Spain winning. And the last one, Uruguay versus Switzerland, I'll have Uruguay winning for that. So just moving on, uh, quarterfinals, USA versus Argentina. Sorry, USA, it's Argentina time, messy time. So Argentina moving forward. Germany versus Brazil. I have Brazil moving forward for that. So we'll see. Obviously semifinals, but England versus France. I have England winning. So an upset for France early stage, and then Spain versus Uruguay. I have Spain winning. So for
Okay.
my semifinals, it'll be Argentina versus Brazil, in which I'll have the Argentina, Mr. Messi himself, the GOAT, going to finals. And for the other side, England versus Spain, in which I'll have Spain winning. So for the finals, Argentina versus Spain. I know no one would expect Spain. I mean, they have experience, but I feel like Spain's looked at as an underdog as well. But Argentina versus Spain for the finals, in which I have the GOAT, Mr. Messi himself, retiring after this World Cup. So Argentina, and I give Brazil number 3 as well. I think
Okay.
they should.
Okay. So the final question we got, since both of us are going with these dream scenarios, Golden Boot winner. Clearly, since I've got Portugal going this far, I can only pick one man, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, to win the Golden Boot. He's my clear Golden Boot winner. I think if Portugal's going to win, he has to do it. He's going to take penalties for them and free kicks. So, Mr. Ronaldo's my Golden Boot winner. Who you got for Golden Boot, Christian?
Okay, well, you see my winner, Argentina. It's pretty clear my Golden Boot, Lionel Messi, the man himself. So that's who I got as my Golden Boot.
All right. I like this. I like this.
Okay.
Y'all remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, interact, 5 tools. Enjoy the first ever Winter World Cup. Thanks for joining us, Christian. Catch you next time.
Have a good one. Thank you.